Hi everyone! Just another short clip. Not going to do a reading, but I'm going to show you a card deck that I'm really, happy with, and exploring still what I can do with it, if I can do readings with it too. Also, I'm just wondering how everyone is doing, especially in the northern hemisphere where we have summer. Over here in the Netherlands it's unbelievably hot. And then I'm living close to the coast, to the North Sea, so where I live it's cooler still than further inland. Sometimes there's a difference of some 6 degrees Celsius here, cooler here, and inland. So I can't even complain, but gosh, it's unbelievably hot. And we've had this heat wave for well, this heat wave not is for a week or something, I think, but it's been hot and dry for a month and a half at least, I think. I can't even remember the last time we had rain. And I read online yesterday that in America it's also really stinking hot. So I hope everyone's fine, everyone's doing okay in that sense, and to stay with the subject of hot. Yeah, I'm looking a bit all over the place, because normally I look like that. That's, for me, is looking straight ahead in the camera. But I've noticed that if I do that, then in the video it's as if I'm looking somewhere over there. And that's of course because the lens of the camera is to the left. So I actually have to look into that lens, which to me means I have to slightly look to the left. It's whatever, it's a bit odd. But to stick to the subject for just a little bit of hotness and sultry. If you've been following me, then you probably have heard, otherwise you're going to hear it now, that I'm going to do a few more courses in August again. I'm beginning again, and right now I'm still enjoying my holiday. And one of these courses is on sensuality and sexuality, for women only, ladies only. And yeah, it's gonna be very erotic and sensual, but it's not like sex education or anything. It's really all still about becoming more empowered as a woman, and getting more in touch with your own body, and exploring your own body and your own sensuality, your own sexuality. And then you probably think, oh, I already know that. Well, trust me, I'm quite certain that you will learn new things. And it's not just about physical stuff, right? It's more about the, although that's in there too, but it's more about the emotional aspect of it. Like I said, really connecting with your body and your sense of femininity and sensuality, also sexuality, in the right way. So it's got to be really, it's unusual, it's different, and I do hope you're gonna check it out on my website, sparklingdiva11.wordpress.com. Under courses, you can find it under courses. It's really going to be good, and of course there's not going to be any nudity or anything like that involved. You know, you do this all in your in the safety of your own home, right? I do give you assignments to do, but it's not all about well, not all about just sex, right? It's about what I said, sensuality, getting to know your own body, and that also involves moving, getting in touch with your feminine energy. So opening up, really feeling in open heart and receiving mode, and then explore and feel. And it's yeah, it's really great. It's really going to be great, and it can help you so much just with yourself, becoming more empowered, feeling better as a woman, have more confidence as a woman. Because sensuality, sexuality, at that part is a very important aspect of being feminine, right? It's all to do with the sacral chakra, the second chakra, and the second chakra is also about femininity, being feminine, an empowered feminine. And that chakra, of course, then is also a feminine energy chakra. Like the root chakra is masculine, and the solar plexus is masculine. It's how do you call that? I can't remember now. One's masculine, then you have a feminine, a masculine, feminine, etc. And the sacral chakra is feminine. So that's all to do, what we're going to do is all to do with the sacral chakra. And apart from your own feeling better, more connected with your body, it does also enhance your sex life. Trust me, it does. It will. And again, if you're feeling like, oh, well, I don't need that, my sex life is great. Well, what if it gets better? You know, what if it gets even better? Wouldn't that be fantastic? Yeah, and again, it's nothing to do with, it's not sex education. You're not going to need any toys, or you don't need a partner either. It's about you and your body, you and your sexuality, you and your sensuality, and beginning to really feel that, so you can really express it as well. To, you know, to own that feeling. Righty, so if something about that, you know, sort of rings a bell and piqued your interest, check it out on my website, sparklingdiva1111.wordpress.com, under courses. You will find it there. And now a bit of a cooler subject. I'm going to show you and talk about the Water Crystal Oracle cards from Dr Masaru Emoto. So water, I like that subject because it's so hot. I got a glass of water here as well. Water that has been charged with the cards from this oracle deck, because that's what you can use them for. There's more you can do with them as well. But first of all, I'll show you a bit of these cards. If you're interested in this, I'll tell you some stuff about it too. Let's see. I'll just show you one card to begin with. This is a photograph of one water crystal. This is from Lourdes in France, where you have this very high energies, right? Love. This is about love. A water crystal. Now, how did he do that? Dr Masaru Emoto, just very shortly going to tell you, otherwise you're thinking like water crystals, photos of water crystals, what the hell? Right, so I want to explain a tiny little bit. I might get a few details wrong here and there, but in general it's that he was a scientist, a Japanese scientist, and he did experiments that he exposed water to certain vibrations, albeit with words, music, photographs of, for instance, a dolphin or a rainforest, whatever. And then he well, exposed it to the energies of that for a certain amount of time. Then he froze those water samples, minus 25 Celsius, and let that sit for a bit as well. Then he got it out of the freezer, allowed it to defrost, and before it completely thawed, when it was at minus 5 Celsius, it then began to form a crystal, like this, for instance. This is just one example. And each crystal is different depending on what it has been exposed to. So the crystal, this is the crystal from Lourdes. This is a crystal prosperity, and this is a crystal peace, right? So every energy, everything has a different impact effect, and then the water forms a different type of crystal, and which is really very important. Why? Because we ourselves are 70% water, right? Meaning that by doing this work that he did, not the cards, but just his work in general, he basically proved that energy impacts water and us as well, then, right? And our health. Because there's also photos, you can find them online if you are interested in that on Google Images. They're not in this card deck, of course. There's also photos of, so you can compare, of water that has been exposed to negative energies like words, I hate you, I disgust you, I despise you, that kind of thing. Also water that has been exposed to rock music. Well, if you look at the crystals that then are formed after they've been exposed to that, then it's like, oh my god, should I actually even listen to rock music anymore? It's really stunning. But it's very interesting to see, because then it also shows you very clearly that what happens if someone, for instance, tells us that you're ugly, or I hate you, or right, I don't like you. Even me telling you this now will have an impact on your body, on the because 70% of us is water, right? So let me change that around. I love you, I like you, and I love you for watching this and following me, and you know, just tuning in, and you know, I love you. So let's just change that negative vibe around if you don't want that, right? But now I'm kind of sort of lost as well. But it's really, really interesting. He also discovered if for instance, water has been exposed to some piece of classical music, it also has it then forms a specific crystal, right, a water crystal, and but that it then also affects the body in a specific way, both emotionally but also physically. So by then listening to that music, that specific piece of music, and watching, looking at that crystal that was formed by that music, and just really taking your time to look at that crystal and listen to the music, you can get physical healing, emotional healing and physical healing. He wrote a book about that as well. Well, basically that book is nothing much more than photographs of crystals and a bit of information on the classical music that goes with it, and 2 CDs that you can listen to with the tracks of these classical music pieces. And I'm doing that. I bought that book, and I must say it's really quite amazing. It's really quite amazing. I did the thingy on the classical music track on self-love. I can't from the top of my head remember which one it is now. And at the same time as I listened to that music, I was looking at that crystal, and I just really breathed it in, right? Really breathed it in, allowed it to come, and I bawled my eyes out. It really moved me in a good way, in a positive way, not in a sad way. I was so deeply moved. It was so beautiful. So incredibly beautiful. So I'm also experimenting with that to see if it really does bring healing. There's stuff in there that works, helps alleviate lower back pain. That was the self-love. Yeah, that was the self-love. There's another piece on blood circulation, and that has to do with blood circulation, the heart, etc. Bonding, commitment, love. And it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And so there was also these cards made based on all this knowledge. And there's it's basically like there's 4 suits in the deck. In a way, this is the healing cards, and they are love, affection, bonding, passion, sympathy, peace of mind, all that stuff, that sort of stuff, right? It's all the healing. That's called the healing cards. They're green, their backs are green. I'll show you the crystals in a bit, okay? Then another one is the power cards. prosperity, thank you, peace, love and thanks, eternity, gratitude, spirit, etc. That's the power suit. I'm just calling them suits. Makes it easier to understand. Then there's the wisdom cards, and they have different backs, right? So you can see what they are, that they're different. So that the wisdom is emotion, happiness, peace of mind, harmony, truth, self-love, etc. Topics like that. And then we have earth, the earth cards. They are different yet again, a light blue. And that is really, really interesting cards. Then we have summer, autumn, earth, dolphin, etc., etc. So it's things, all things to do with the earth. Now, before I'm going to show you some of these crystals, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the booklet. The booklet is really very thin. There's very little information, right? Because I mean, it's very thin, but it's I find that actually it's enough. It gives you information on what you can do, how to use the cards. He also explains how he, yeah, what I just told you about the how these crystals are created, how they are formed, how he did that. And the effect on the body, 70% of us is water, etc. It's in there as well. And then he starts off with the cards of healing, which are these green cards. Green cards, I'll show a number of them. And you know, actually they go with a piece of music in the same way that I explained just now. He also published a CD which is called Keys to the Heart. And each track on that CD goes with one of these cards. I do not have that CD. It doesn't come with the deck. You can, I believe it, you can order it on Amazon. So then there is the then it goes into explaining like the subject of the each card. Like for instance the autonomic nerve Hado. Hado is basically Japanese for life energy, chi, like chi, ki, right? That's called Hado as well. Apparently, I'm not entirely certain what the difference is. I believe it's also in the book, but I can't remember from the top of my head. That's this crystal. It's to do with the autonomic nerve system. And then the what goes with that, it was on the back of the card as well, is affection. And the other side of the coin is hatred. And then it also mentions the title of the song on that CD that you can then listen to as you watch to that crystal. But the CD, like I said, it doesn't come with this deck. I haven't got that CD either. So then there is the blood circulation. Hado is about bonding. And the other side of that, the other side of the coin, can't find it now. Oh, that's really handy, isn't it? Cranial thymus. Ah, there we have it. Stress of human relations. That is the. So that doesn't mention that on the back of the card. That is mentioned in the book, right? So then it has the pineal Hado. Is about passion. And then lethargy. Do I pronounce that right? Lethargy, I think so, is the other side of that. And then we have pancreatic Hado, is about sympathy, and the other side of that is self-pity. So basically working with this crystal, looking at that crystal, charging water with this crystal can help with that. And the pancreas is very important because there's one of the organs that is suffering quite a lot in our bodies because we are lacking self-esteem. We're not being sweet enough to ourselves in a way, not nice enough to ourselves. It's suffering quite a lot. It's suffering quite a lot. Yeah, and that's all to do with the spleen as well. And then if the pancreas is not all too happy, mostly energetically, it will also then physically not function as it should, not really, it then also triggers the adrenaline glands, meaning that the adrenaline glands then start producing more stress hormones. Meaning that if you work on these issues, because it's all connected, right? It's all connected, the physical body and the energetic stuff and mental processes, etc. This is not in the book, by the way. This is what I'm telling you, what I know myself. If you start working on issues like self-respect, self-esteem and so on, which is to do with the spleen, then the pancreas will also become happier, and then the pancreas will also signal the adrenaline glands, so they will start to calm down and they will stop eventually to produce this overdose of cortisols, etc., stress hormones. So working on the pineal gland in that sense is really, really important. It's, oh sorry, the pineal gland, the pancreas. Pancreas is one of the organs in our bodies that is really seriously suffering. Then there is cranial hado, peace of mind. Cranial has to do with the vertebrae, the neck, all that. The head, the neck, the entire spine, and that's to do with peace of mind. This looks like a vertebrae, doesn't it? It does look like vertebrae. Yeah. So it's like that. It has adrenaline hado. It's to do with release, of course, right? It's stress hormones. The adrenaline glands produce stress hormones, so it's release. And then there's right brain hado and lungs. And the thing is, I'm charging water with these cards, not just the healing cards, just any card, and the water actually really tastes different. It tastes really good, and the flavors can seriously amaze me. It surprised me as well. Like, whoa, what happened to that? I can't remember which cards I used, but it tasted a bit like iron. If there was iron in the water, really odd, really odd. This is brain hado, kindness. So, and that's for each of these crystals. They produce a different flavor. This is the thymus, which is also good as happiness, but also to do with not getting ill. How do you call that in English? Immune system, right, there we go. Also the higher heart, by the way. The thymus chakra is the higher heart chakra, is located here. It has a lot to do with the higher love. Like the heart chakra is also love and love of self, etc. But the higher heart chakra is here. Is about it's more higher energy love. And keep it stick to that. And then this is a general healing hado. Release is also release, and then the Lourdes. This is so beautiful. It's almost like a diamond. Diamonds, not one, but several diamonds, like set in a ring or something. It's really, really pretty. Righty, I'm going to show you a few more. I will not show you every card, because there's going to be really a lot. But this is also very pretty. This is from the Sambuichi Yusui spring water in Japan. It's one of the cleanest sources, at least in Japan, but possibly also on the planet, this water. Well, I mean, look at it. It shows, doesn't it? It's symmetrical. It's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful, right? And what I do with this deck, I have used it the other day in my full moon reading, I think it was. I have used it. I'm going to experiment with that a little more as well. But what I do with it myself too, with when I want to charge water, but you can also do that to see what you need at the moment. I just go through the crystals, the cards, without checking on the backs what they're about. You know, I'm looking at the photographs, and then I'm just going through them, and I really feel, I open up my heart, I get out of my head, I look at these cards, and I really feel like, wow, what is it that really makes me feel, whoo, and this one does it every time. And then I check on the back what it's about. This one does it every time for me. Dolphin. I have charged water with that a great many times as well. Dolphin. And then in the booklet with the cards of power, like prosperity, hope, thank you, etc., it doesn't give any further explanation because, yeah, there's nothing to explain, right? It's self-explanatory. Respect, confidence, that doesn't need any further explanation. The cards of wisdom, there are a few lines with that. Which I'm looking for the dolphin, which was an earth card. I'll show you the brief overview of the cards of wisdom, so you have a bit of an idea. If you're interested in this deck, you can read it yourself. The cards of the earth, then let's see, it comes with a few lines per card there as well. And dolphin, let's see, there's also Machu Picchu, a crystal from Machu Picchu in there, Stonehenge, earth, the sun, a rainforest and a coral reef, which is beautiful. Dolphins are our teachers of unconditional love. Focus on them when you need to connect with this energy. Picture yourself surrounded by them in the ocean as you swim together, surrounded by their bubbles of joy. Because dolphins are also about joy and fun and play and lightheartedness, but also unconditional love. So if you feel drawn to this, like I do, then unconditional love is probably quite the same for me, or I need that vibe at the moment when I see that, when I feel drawn to it. And then if you then charge water with it, you get that in, right? You drink it. You drink water with that vibration, and since my body is also 70% water, like yours is as well, my body will also get that vibration. And then by doing that, you can get healing emotionally as well. And if you then put that card in front of you near your computer, for instance, so you regularly look at it, then the effect is even stronger, right? Because then you absorb that energy visually as well. I so love it. It's almost like platinum or titanium, platinum or something. I was going to say silver, but it doesn't really look like silver. It's more like, I think, platinum. It's absolutely stunning. It does it for me all the time. Let's see if I can give you just a few more cards, and then I'm going to quit. This is already 27 minutes. This is the coral reef. You can actually see that. It's as if they cut through a coral reef or something. So the water then shapes that way as well. You know, almost like a coral. Like I'm lost for words. I can't really remember now what it's called. This is the rainforest, also beautiful. Yeah. And let's see, I want to show you the soul card as well. This is prayer. And if you're interested in this, then really seriously look up online on Google a few more of these thingies. Also, especially the ones that are negative, so you have a comparison what that looks like. Prosperity, and then we have the love and thanks. Isn't that beautiful? Love and thanks. So I'm going to send you my love and thank you for watching this. If you did stick with me throughout the entire video, because it did get long. This is soul. I wanted to show you that soul, the water crystal that gets formed by that energy, right? So I'm gonna say goodbye with the love and thanks water crystal. Thank you for watching, and I will be back again with a reading pretty soon, I suppose. And enjoy your day, stay cool, and check out my sultry hot mini course on sensuality, sexuality. It's called the Tempress. Isn't that wonderful? I love that as well. Check it out on my website, sparklingdiva1111.wordpress.com, and I hope to see you there. Bye bye.